How's it going there, everybody? It's Mr. Zen over here bringing guys a brand new Dr. Stone chapter discussion. And for today's segment, guys, we're going to be talking about is chapter 31 all the way to 34, folks. Yes. I love this manga, folks. I just keep forgetting to talk about it weekly. Oh my god, I'm ashamed, folks. I am ashamed because this manga just gets more and more adventurous and more hilarious too at the same time. It has it gets very serious at moments too, guys. Like, man, Senku and Chrome, definitely these two characters in chapter 31 and 32, man, these two characters, my god. Nakama power won over their obstacle and predicament that they were trying to go over. My freaking god. But like I said, enough data, and let's just get on with it. So, chapter 31 and 32, folks. Like, my god, it was basically, like I said in the previous chapter, Senku was actually gonna bring his knowledge down to Chrome itself, folks. Yes, he was gonna bring down all the knowledge that he knows into the next generation of people. But Chrome did not actually take any of that. He said, "No, Senku, don't you dare say anything." And even Senku was kind of shocked because of this simplistic manner. Even Senku couldn't think of this. It's because of the fact that Chrome saw it as a cowardly routine, saying that because you're telling me this, that means you're telling me that you're gonna fail, and that's 100% sure that you should not definitely fail. I love the fact that Chrome was definitely shouting to Senku, saying that you're not gonna fail because I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna make sure that you're not gonna fail. And it was very, very touching because I love the fact that even Kohaku was just like, wow, Chrome, like, he's really stepping up his game. He's living up to the dream right there. He is actually becoming a man itself right there. And it's funny because of the fact that we see that the dangerous peril that they're going up the mountains to get that sulfuric acid is very dangerous. One whiff of it and literally you're out. You're out for life, eternity, an eternal slumber, folks. That's the way it was. And I love the fact that these two characters, man, they made like makeshift gas masks and everything that they had to do in order to actually survive that. It was very hilarious. I'm wondering, like, man, Senku, just how much were you studying back in the day? Like, my god, just seeing those gas masks, they look like they were just pieces of coconut just mixed together with some, like, freaking, like, I don't know, like some fiber or wheat. I'm not even too sure how they actually made it. I'm just gonna use my manga logic and say that, yeah, it withstood it, but they kind of did explain a little bit that the little tubes that they carried on the back, it was actually, you could say, filtering the sulfuric acid so they don't have to breathe it as much, or at least it'll filtrate enough to the point that they're not really necessarily breathing it. But it's still dangerous to a sense that they're still kind of technically inhaling it. It's just the fact that it's now just down to a very, very minor degree. My god, like I said, it was very frightening too to read that chapter too, like to see that, because even then, I believe his name was Ginru himself. He comes and saves the day I believe it was chapter 32. I believe chapter 32. He actually comes in and saves the day because of the fact that Chrome slips. It was funny because it's a very serious predicament, but then Chrome saying those important speeches to Senku in the previous chapter. He's all telling him that, like, oh yeah, oh, you're not gonna actually have an eternal slumber over there. You're gonna make it back here. But yeah, he's the one that slips up and almost freaking falls into the ravine itself of that pure acid itself. And none other than Ginru comes in and saves the day because he had to. I thought that chapter definitely was for him, for Ginru's sake, because of the fact he was the most cowardly one, because of the fact he thought he was really not gonna make it when they actually made it in the past expedition. But the thing is that he actually stepped up and said that, what, I feel ashamed. He felt that, like, he has to do more on his part. He felt that he wasn't doing enough, that, that he felt like that he's going to be having that guilt throughout this whole entire life. So he actually went up there and said, I'm going to face my fears and I'm going to help these guys because I want, he wants to see this kingdom of science too, like he's part of it, And he's one of the major characters too that's actually evolving too as the actual tournament of arc actually starting, which is very interesting because then it leads on to chapter 33, which was very hilarious. Chapter 33 was the most comical chapter that I've seen in this whole entire 34 chapters of Dr. Stone. It was so freaking hilarious. They did get the sulfuric acid thanks to Ginru, but it was so hilarious because all the comical expressions that Kohaku was giving to Crow and Senku, because the way that Senku was saying, now that we got our sulfuric acid, we're gonna make we're gonna use ammonia. We're gonna use hydrochloric acid. They're gonna, I believe there was something else. Like they're gonna use a lot of these poisonous chemicals in order to make the medicine. And it's so funny because Haku's like, oh, okay, so something that will actually rot your bones, basically destroy your intestines, and you're gonna give all that to Ruri. Like she gave like this very expressive face over Senku and Chrome, and it's so funny because they just looked at her like, no, it's just it's not the finished product. Like they're just thinking to themselves like, oh my god, this person, she's not understanding us. Like to me, if I wasn't that knowledgeable in that kind of chemical field, I personally would think the same thing too, as Kohaku was saying, like, you're gonna give this to somebody to drink it? Like, what, are you crazy? Like, how is that gonna help out? I understand where Kohaku was coming from, but like I said, that chapter itself was definitely the most comical one out of the whole entire series itself. And it gets even more comical because the tournament of art is now starting. Now that it all kind of fell into place. So now that I'm kind of actually wanting to see his focus is the tournament of art itself. This tournament is going to be something interesting because, nobody really is a fighter in a sense in Dr. Stone. The only ones that are really the fighters is Kinru and Ginru. And even Kinru himself doesn't seem like he might actually win. He could try. It's not that he can. I mean, it's just he could try, but they're going to face off against Magma. Magma is the main antagonist of this actual arc itself and the actual story. Well, I would say the Kingdom of Science arc. Not necessarily the whole arc, the whole manga itself. It's Tsukasa, but still, Magma seems... I feel like Magma might even join Tsukasa's army just because of the fact that, the way the character acts. Oh, yes, you guys are strong, so you guys can actually join me once I become the head of the village. Like, that's the way kind of Tsukasa's actual own ideology of the New World is. And Magma kind of fits in that kind of scheme right there. But, like I said, that's for another thing. But what's going on with this is that Senku, Kinru, and Ginru, they're all having a dispute over how they're going to win the tournament. And it's so hilarious in chapter 33 because, oh my freaking god, they're going to cheat. They're going to rig the game. When I was reading that, it made so much sense. Kinru was the only one that was against, saying like, don't you guys have any honor? Like, I'm like wondering like, what? I would think that you're the one that would like to cheat, but it's so funny because Kinru himself is actually the one that loves the fair and square kind of game. Even Kohaku too was like, you know what? In this times of desperate situations, we have to go with the cheating. And it's so funny because Senku and Ginru, I'm like, sorry, I'm bringing out a character because the way they were kind of putting it on freaking Kinru's actual face, saying like, oh yeah, you have to cheat, we're gonna rig the game just so you can win. But you know for sure it's just that funny because you know that they really are doing it for Kinru. So technically Kinru is technically cheating itself. That's why I freaking found it so hilarious. Oh my god. I love that chapter. Chapter 33 was definitely hilarious, and it's so funny because they're all with it. They're all with it. Cheating, and it gets even more hilarious because it goes on to chapter 34 where it gets really more into the more of a very serious tone. Even though there are still comical events, but it gets more to a serious tone because of the fact that you're wondering, whoa. Ruri asked for Senku's, I believe, his family name. In terms of that, I think she was trying to say is, what's your last name? Because, have you guys noticed, no one really has a last name in this world. And Senku kind of actually, he observed and kind of noticed that, oh, wait, maybe she's probably one of, like, from my generation. Like, whoa. But then she collapses. It's like, whoa. The artist himself is just like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. We're gonna give you guys a little tease. Now it makes it more interesting for for the end of the tournament to see where Ruri kind of stands. Is she part of the new generation, or is she part of the old generation where Senku was? In my honest opinion, I don't think she's part of the old generation. She's probably a daughter of the previous generation. And what happened was she was passed down the information from somebody in order to give it to Senku himself, which is very interesting. That means that we might get another important character, but this person might probably be old or is already passed away and deceased. Very interesting term of predicaments with the Rory's case itself. I'm telling you guys, the manga itself is definitely going. It's going places. It's going places. I'm telling you, it's becoming very interesting. And the fact too is, the they're kind of giving more of a suspenseful theme, because of the fact that since Kohaku and Kinru are the only ones, when they try to break the system, it kind of backfired, and because all of them are in there, they're all basically facing off against each other, and the only ones that are really going to be facing off is Magma versus Chrome. That's going to happen. Magma's going to take down Chrome and freaking Ginru. That's what's going to happen. He's going to take them down. So technically, the arc itself, to me, it's going to end with is Senku versus Magma. Ooh, I can't wait to see how that's going to go about. Because from the way they were kind of going with the chapter, you see that Kohaku's not going to make it in time to face off against Senku. Kohaku has to face off against Senku. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys would love to see that, but I'm pretty sure she's going to break her leg, somebody's going to sabotage her, or she's going to find one of Tsukasu's men around there. So it definitely has to be Senku versus Magma. That is definitely going to be the prime pivotal. And this tournament is, like I said, it's different from like all the other shonen tournaments. It's not a battle of strength this time. Now it's going to be a battle of wits, because of the fact that, you know, Senku is not very powerful. I mean, granted though, he did cook up some actual supplements for himself to get a little bit of muscle right there, but it was basically like just caffeine in a sense. That's all he was just giving himself, caffeine, so he could just be like, woof, woof, and get that little heartbeat burning right there. That's all he was really giving it. He wasn't really making like nicotine or anything like that, you know, or not nicotine in a sense, but I don't want to say it, but because I know that's to keep it G-rated. But you guys know where I'm going with. You guys know where I'm going with, right? You know, that's why I kind of laughed today. That it'd be funny if they kind of involve that in the actual manga. It'd be hilarious. I mean, granted though, I don't think they are, but if they do, oh man, that'd be pretty interesting. Like if they're gonna actually involve that for Senku to use that against Magma. That'd be interesting. But anywho, like I said, I think that's it for the chapter itself, folks. You know, I would say that's about it, yeah, because in fact I feel like Kohaku is not gonna be involved in the tournament arc itself. So that means it's Senku versus Magma. But let me know down in the comments below. So because I could be wrong. Let me know down in the comments if you guys think that's gonna happen, Senku versus Magma, or do you guys think it's gonna be Kohaku versus Magma? You know, it could happen. But like I said, let me know down in the comments below. And as always, guys, if you guys enjoy my content, don't forget to give a like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Dr. Stone manga chapter discussions. And as always, hope to see you guys again in the next video. But peace out, folks.